Soundcore Q20i versus Tozo HT2. Both are budget ANC headphones, so the real question is not which brand sounds fancier on paper. It is whether the pricier one actually earns the difference once you live with it day to day, or if the cheaper pick already covers what most people need for commuting, work, and travel. Spending more is not always smart, and spending less is not always smart either. Let's make it clear. Start with what actually matters here. The noise canceling. Both promise hybrid ANC at a budget price, and both deliver something real, not just marketing. But there's a clear gap once you stop reading boxes and look at how they behave.
The Q20i is the one that owns this round. The community keeps coming back to the same point. Low rumble gets crushed. The engine drone on a plane, the AC unit, traffic outside the window, that constant low-frequency hum that wears you down. It doesn't erase voices completely. Nothing in this price tier does. But a coworker talking across the room becomes background instead of a distraction. Transparency mode is also genuinely usable for quick exchanges without ripping the headphones off, even if it's not as natural as what you'd get on a flagship. The HT2 isn't bad, but it sits a step behind. ANC is decent against steady noise, the kind of thing that helps on a mower or in a noisy office. Some reviewers feel the effect is subtle, more of a lower the volume effect than a true wall of silence. There's one detailed opinion floating around about someone using them on a zero-turn mower and dropping engine noise by roughly 3/4, and that tracks with the rest of the feedback. It works, it just doesn't disappear the world the way the Q20i can. If ANC is the reason you're shopping, the Q20i is ahead here. Comfort is closer than you'd expect, and honestly, both do this part well. The Q20i runs light, the cushions are soft, and the clamp is gentle enough for multi-hour wear. There's a thoughtful review from someone with a smaller head saying these were the first over-ear headphones that actually stayed in place without sliding, which is the kind of detail you don't get from a spec sheet. The HT2 takes a slightly different approach, with angled ear cups, the same trick higher-end models use to keep your ears from pressing flat against the driver. People who wear them all day genuinely notice it. The catch is the protein leather pads can warm up after a couple of hours, and a few owners mention slightly sweaty ears, which is the price of a tighter seal. Real talk, both are comfortable. The HT2 might edge it for very long static sessions thanks to those angled cups. The Q20i wins for smaller heads and lighter clamp. Pick your poison. Sound is where the budget shows on both, but in different ways. The Q20i leans bass-heavy with the bass-up mode on, which is fun for hip-hop, EDM, and gym playlists. Less ideal if you want clean vocals and detail. The Soundcore app helps a lot here. 22 EQ presets and a custom slider mean you can actually pull the bass back and let the mids breathe. That flexibility is the thing that saves it for picky listeners. The HT2 ships with a more neutral tuning out of the box. Less thump, more balance, vocals sit forward. There's a review I keep thinking about from someone who replaced a pair of $100 Audio-Technicas and said music-wise, they couldn't tell much difference. That's a strong statement for a sub-50 headphone. The Tozo app has EQ too, though it's not as deep as Soundcore's. For bass lovers and tinkerers, Q20i. For a more balanced default, HT2. Battery is a near tie on paper and in practice. 40 hours with ANC on, 60 with it off on both models. That's multiple work weeks of commuting before you hunt for a cable. The Q20i has the fast charge advantage, 5 minutes for around 4 hours of playback, which is the kind of thing you appreciate at 6 in the morning when you forgot to plug them in. Both have a 3.5mm wired fallback for dead batteries, though heads up on the Q20i, ANC and EQ don't work over the cable. Connectivity-wise, both run Bluetooth multipoint and pair with 2 devices at once, phone and laptop, no fuss. The HT2 has a dedicated game mode you toggle from the headset itself for low latency on video, which is a nice touch if you watch a lot on a tablet. Both are stable, both pair fast. On price, they sit in the same budget tier, with the HT2 typically landing a bit cheaper and the Q20i seeing more aggressive discounts during sale events. The Q20i gives you stronger ANC, fast charge, and the deeper app. The HT2 gives you a more natural sound signature out of the box, angled ear cups for marathon comfort, and the lower sticker. Neither one is overpriced for what it offers, and that's the honest read. Here's the call: the Soundcore Q20i. For most of you shopping this comparison, the stronger ANC, the fast charge, and the deeper app tuning are what you'll feel every day. That's where the extra dollars actually earn it. If your priority is the lowest sticker and a more natural sound out of the box, the HT2 is a smart pick, no fluff. And if you wear headphones for marathon study or work from home sessions, those angled cups on the HT2 are genuinely worth it. The Q20i tends to see bigger drops during sale events, so if you're patient, that's the one to watch. And you, which one would you pick? Let me know in the comments. Both linked below with the current price.